We're live. I'm Nick Roush. That's Adam Luckett. We are here where just a few hours ago, Tom Leach was narrating the catastrophe that was unfolding behind us at Don't Call Me Papa John's Cardinals Stadium. The Cats got blanked, gutted, in a 41-0 loss to the Louisville Cardinals in the Governor's Cup to finish the season 5-7. It was an absolute disaster, one that we're happy to be talking to you with, thanks to our friends of Cole. Friends of Cole, KY, friends of ColeKentucky.org. They fuel all of our rapid reactions. And, I have a feeling this one's going to be eventful because it's not going to be just about the game, which we'll start with, because you got to talk about the game. That's what we said when all of Mark Stoops' seat was getting hot, is that you have to play the games. It has to be about the game. So we're going to talk briefly about the game, where I watched a number 46 and a number 89 each rush for 100 yards against this Kentucky defense. We were confident. And when the first quarter was unfolding the way that it was, Kentucky got off to a slow start. I was like, oh, man, this isn't the good recipe. But you thought if they were going to lose the game, maybe it was, 17-13, right? Like it would just turn into this slugfest where nobody could really do anything, and it was just a bad game. No, Kentucky just got their asses kicked. Absolutely kicked in the keister, bent over, steel-toe boot right to the butt. It was bad as bad could get. I didn't even see the final yards, but it was like $150. For Kentucky?
I think it was 400 and change to 147, I believe, is what Kentucky ended up with. Under 3 yards per play. That was their lowest yards per play in a road game under Bush Hamden. I didn't go and look at the full stat, but it's got to be the lowest. I mean, we're probably talking that 2020 Bama game during COVID when they didn't have anybody.
Yeah.
Right? It's got to be one of the worst we've seen, and this program has played some bad offensive football.
It was bad. It was bad. But it was offense bad. It was defense bad. It was special teams bad. All of the above were bad.
It's not just – it's 2 weeks in a row. 2 weeks in a row. Long day. I just think you have to say it, Nick. Out-physicaled, outplayed, out-hustled, and out-coached.
Yep.
Vanderbilt, you're more willing to – because they're a legit top 15 team. This Louisville team went 4-4 in the ACC. They are severely shorthanded. They have their defensive front is good, and we talked about it. It's one thing you couldn't let wreck the game, and it did. But the offensive line 2 weeks in a row against fronts that aren't that good. Louisville's good. Vanderbilt's not as good, but it's not. You shouldn't be just getting mollywopped like that.
Yeah. Well, and the way you put it too, offensively with Louisville's injuries, they did have Miller Moss back, but the only
Stop the run. The one thing they've done all year is stop the run. And they couldn't stop the run today.
Against a redshirt freshman walk. No, was it true freshman walk-on?
True
freshman walk-on had a $150, give or take. Braxton Jennings from Ashland. Shout out
and
to
a wide receiver playing running back. Had over 100. Sean Boykins Jr.
Yeah, I mean, that's very, very embarrassing. Here's another thing that's pretty embarrassing, too. We watched you almost get punts blocked in back-to-back weeks. Maybe, don't let that happen. Like that, the alarm bells were ringing, and just nobody was listening.
I think it's also. I'm a believer of this. It's just my philosophy about football, specifically college football. You only have so many circle the wagons moments in a single season. I think Louisville they played one of their cards.
Yeah,
like Jeff Braun played his circle the wagon chip this week, and he got his team ready to play. I do wonder if Kentucky they were just out of those.
Yeah,
after last week
they played too many of those, and then all of a sudden you're out of gas.
Yeah, and then I don't really want to talk about the game too much because it was an ass whooping. I mean, what else do you have to say? They got their butts whipped. They got their butts whipped 2 weeks in a row. They had legitimately, I thought, Nick, 3 weeks of positive momentum, and they were moving in the right direction.
You could see a light at the end of the tunnel.
And then they just threw it in the trash can, went out and got the thing of gasoline in the garage.
Yep.
Poured in there and said, I don't know if this will catch on fire. Let me light a match. It caught on fire. So now we're just like, I've said I thought the decision on Mark Stoops, I thought it came down to Auburn, Florida, and then not messing around against Tennessee Tech. And he swept those, and I thought he was safe. I don't think it's cut and dry like that right now.
Now, so we're at a point where it was basically just win one game and you get to a bowl game. Beating Vanderbilt on the road could be tough, but, Mark Stoops has one thing he does well. He beats Louisville. This is a very beatable Louisville team who I think we described as like a JV bunch there for a while because they were so decimated with injuries. And it's not just that they lost both games. It's that they got blown out. 86-17 combined score in both of those games. The 41-point loss was Kentucky's largest loss in the series against Louisville, and it wasn't even competitive.
Nope.
It was a non-competitive football game.
They didn't have. We talked about this being a bring your own juice game. Kentucky comes out flat.
I didn't understand it, and even the players afterwards were like, "I thought we had it," and then the game starts and it just dud.
I get back to the circle of wagons. I just don't think they could get it together one more time. I think they got it a couple times when they hit the mat this year, and I don't think they could get it together. And then that just kind of gets us where we are. But then you hear – we're going to talk about Mark Stoops.
All his comments, yeah.
But I do want to say this. He keeps bringing up depth a lot.
Yeah.
Like we didn't have enough depth. What did he tell us all when they had to sign the portal class?
Yeah, we're built.
What did they say on what did they say August Media Day?
We're built for depth. We're going to have depth this year.
So I'm sitting here. It's like Groundhog's Day.
Yeah. Same thing over and over. What's the definition of insanity again? Remind me.
Yeah. What he said. but, you know, it's the same thing. And then it's like we've got a good nucleus we're going to keep together. We're going to go out. We've got guys locked in. We've got the resources in place.
We got guys signing contracts that are ready to come back.
But they are 11-21 since they beat Florida at home in 2023. And they have looked like one of the worst programs in the SEC since that point. And they've lost a lot of power conference games since then. Again, the embarrassing 2 touchdowns or less streak we thought was donezo. It's not.
Nope.
They haven't scored more than 20 points since Bush Hamden got here in a road game. Last time they scored more than 20 offensive points in a road game was when they beat Louisville here in 2023.
It's a long time ago. Long time ago. And to your point about Groundhog's Day, if you were one of those who was cheering for Mark Stoops to get the hell out of here, Matt often talked about how, like, if you're at 5-7, you're in this weird spot. Well, it's different if you get your ass kicked in the final 2 games and you get completely ran off the field. And part of the rationale behind when Matt would say, hey, you know, they had the money if this was going to be a 3 or a 4 win team, but they don't have it anymore. You find money in the banana stand when you get embarrassed like this. When a guy wearing number 46 and a guy wearing number 89 are running all over your ass. I mean, this is the new low. And I like using the word untenable. It's a very popular word in our industry. But the reason why people use the word is it's just like, how do you go forward?
Right.
How do you go forward with any of this? And Stoops said 0% chance, 0. He kind of laughed at the question when he was asked about stepping away, leaving. And part of the reason is he's got to drop that anchor and say, you got to pay my ass to get out of here. And you know what? There's probably going to be people willing to pay that. I don't know how we get through the next 24 hours without hearing some news that was Mark Stoops' last football game. I mean,
Mickey Mouse is on. Mickey Mouse writes checks to the University of Kentucky.
Worth a lot of money.
Mr. Wildcat on campus in his nice place has the funds if they want to make that happen. It's not going to be easy.
No.
To me, Mitch Barnhart, you play the draft jingle. Dun, 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 dun. Mitch Barnhart's on the clock.
Yeah.
He's got to make a hard call one way or the other. We know Mitch is the budget king. He does not want to do this.
No.
But untenable.
Yeah.
To your point, how do you kind of go on? In Stoops' point, that's just, to me, again, he said this multiple times. It's him drawing the line in the sand.
Yeah.
Saying, come on, Bubba.
Yeah.
You're going to have to pay me for me to go away. Like, that's how I took it.
Yeah.
And so that's just kind of where we are. And the other thing, and we've talked about this, if you don't fire him this year and you kick the can down the road and you have another 5-7, you're not saving any money.
No.
It's going to be pretty close to the same. Because you're going to have to sign all these new coaching contracts. And your Stoops' buyout's only dropping by $9 million.
Who are you replacing, too? Like, if you want to fire some people, like, who wants to come work for a coach that's on the hot seat? And then furthermore, if you keep Stoops, because, like, let's say, you know, Matt thinks this is going to be Mitch Barnhart's last year, too. Who's going to want to sign up to play for an AD? Like, the new AD's first job is going to be to write that check that Mr. Wildcat, Mitch Barnhart doesn't want to.
I worry less about that, but the other I will worry about. Like, if you are Kentucky at their best, if they're operating right, they are going to need to hire ascending assistant coaches.
Yeah.
That they have to be early to the party on.
Yeah.
What ascending coach is going to look at this situation and be like, yeah, it's SEC money, but do I want to move my family for maybe a one and done, even though these are like chronic movers, right?
Right.
It's just, it's hard. Money talks.
Yeah.
Because they can pay a lot more than a lot of schools. But, yeah, it's just hard. It's hard to see it. Nick, I don't know how you watch that game and don't see it as, well, that just felt like the end. Like, how do you come back from that?
Yeah. Our friend Ryan Black asked me, he's like, you were at the Vandy game. Did this feel like the Vandy 2012 game? And, I mean, it did. I mean, they were dancing on Kentucky's grave, playing Grove Street Party.
Yeah.
And during the fourth quarter, like half the football field was out on the hash dancing with the fans. I mean, it was very much what they wanted the coronation to be in 2023 in this season. Braum arrives, they're going to the ACC. That was supposed to be the party then, and Kentucky ruined it. So they drank it all up today. They enjoyed every single second of Mark Stoops' misery, including one person in particular. Big Dog was barking. He didn't even wait till after the game to start tweeting at KSR folks. He was tweeting at me. He was quote tweeting our score prediction graphic. You know what, Vince? It's not ain't no fun when the rabbit got the gun. That's not appropriate here. But hey, winners, they write history. They get to celebrate how you want. And if you want to celebrate by tweeting at me, tweet away, brother. That's fine by me. All is fair in love and war. I'm just glad that you thought of me first.
And that's why, again, Nick, that's why this game is in its rightful place at the end of the season, because of just how it can swing things. Kentucky has gotten the good of that.
Yeah.
They got the bad end.
The worst end of it.
And now it can really change things. And so, to me, I don't think we're going to see anything Saturday night.
Okay.
We could, but I think we're going to get announcements Sunday morning one way or the other.
Yeah, yeah.
And so Sunday morning, Sunday lunchtime, that's typically where we're at. But, just the noise is loud, and you can't avoid it anymore.
Yeah.
And they've got a PR problem that they've got to fix, specifically with the football program.
It's very bad. I did want to acknowledge, too, that one guy that you are thinking about, John Summerall, he's not going to go to Auburn. Auburn made a mess of that search, but Florida, they've got their eyes on him. Will they actually do it? Will they not? There's time to make a call.
He'll be very involved in the LSU search if Lane Kiffin stays at Ole Miss. He'll be very involved in the Ole Miss search. Mm-hmm. Basically, what's happened with Summerall, okay, let's play this out. Let's just say it.
Okay.
There's a bidding war going on.
Yeah.
And he's going to probably want to decide Sunday or Monday. So, odds are low for Kentucky. But if you wanted to take your swing, you would have to, I think,
step up to bat.
You would have to go fast. You would have to go right now.
Well, and we don't know. This might be the end. It's been 13 years with Mark Stoops. He's won more games than any other Kentucky head football coach. But things have soured in a catastrophic fashion.
And the messaging, again.
We're going to get better?
We're going to get better. We're going to build the roster. We're going to get back to work. We're going to add more depth.
We can flip the roster quick.
It's just, you can. But they just did that.
Yeah.
And the problem is, I think, because part of his messaging all year was, we are better, hammering that point. Even when
we're not going to quit.
We're better.
We're better. We're not quitting.
And they did. They had a 3-week run, but I think it's very easy now.
It's very marginal.
It's very easy to diminish that now once you saw how this season ended. Because then you can really, I think, make the case, well, look at Florida and Auburn.
Yeah.
You beat an FCS team.
Yeah, it's hard to plant your flag in those games anymore. You could for a little bit and say, hey, it's still big logos, big games. But
at the end of the day, they play two teams that they need to beat consistently. Mm-hmm. And
they got drubbed.
Both those teams were not overlooking Kentucky. They were ready for both those moments, and they got absolutely blasted.
Yeah.
That is a huge, ginormous, gigantic red flag.
They're waving them all over the place here. They're about ready to kick us out, though. So we do need to get on down the road. If you aren't subscribed right now, do it. We're also doing 50% off subs right now. Black Friday, going through that on KSR Plus. So when we hear stuff, we'll share it there. If any news breaks, we'll be live here on the YouTube channel. This game sucked. It was the absolute worst, but we're just gritting our teeth and slowing through the pain.